What job contributes nothing to society? Predatory tow agencies. The ones with the little rectangular signs at the entrance to public parking lots that have 2,500 words on them in size 5 font, basically explaining that they can tow your car for any reason. Then you work in the fact that every shady condo landlord or strip mall owner is in bed with these dirtbags, obviously getting a kickback off every car they call in. Once they've got your car, you're fucked. You pay them, cash only, because they've got your car. Think they towed you illegally? Neat, they're going to charge you storage fees every day, while you try to fight them, so you better be certain you're going to win. And you don't have a car in the meantime. An average person cannot risk it. No legal business operation has a worse relationship with their customers. Every one of these places is staffed by the bitchiest teenager you've ever met in your life, somebody's niece/nephew, that is definitely being paid under the table, behind 6 inches of bulletproof glass, and a reinforced steel door. They know you're going to be pissed, they're openly fucking garbage human beings, but they've got your car, and you have to give them money to get it back, so fuck you. Last time I had to deal with one of these places, I got towed from my own apartment building, with my residence sticker shown. I called and asked them why they towed my car. They said I was parked on the lines. I asked them to send me a photo, they're legally required to provide one. Why did I ask for a photo? Because the spot I was towed from for parking on the lines doesn't have lines. The shameless fucking dirtbags still sent me the photo anyway, and just changed the reason to "we were contacted by the property owner and towed at his request. No reason is required." Oh, and the photo was timestamped 11:55 p.m. 5 minutes before midnight. So I had to pay for a day of storage fees. I bet the number of vehicles that get towed at 11:55 p.m. is about the same percentage as Steam users who are born on January 1st. Don't forget it's all exact change too. That'll be $345 please. Oh, you only have $340 or $360 because our ATM only gives you increments of 20? I guess it'll be $360 then, because we won't give you back anything. Absolute bastards. I've paid these assholes. They were keeping us out of my girlfriend's car to get her prescription medication and purse, in a bag of nickels, dimes, and pennies. I knew it wasn't exact, it was slightly over, but I sat there while they counted. They eventually gave up, and called it even after they realized they were punishing themselves by losing count, and having to start over. All of that was after they initially tried refusing accepting payment, and I called the police department, who sent out a very amused officer. He told me on the side that I was being very petty. I agreed and we both had a chuckle. When my ex's car got towed, from her assigned parking spot at her apartment, they told us the apartment manager called it in. We knew the apartment manager well. He said he didn't call it in, and in fact hadn't called the town company in over a year. I yelled at the person on the phone so much that somehow, I got the owner to call me back, but from her personal cell phone. Well, we never got anywhere with them, and had to pay $300 plus to get the car out. We were in our early 20s, and broke, so this killed us. For our petty revenge for the next year or so, every time we had a party we would give out this lady's cell phone number, and everyone would prank call her all night. We had a lot of parties at my house. Multiple times a week she would be getting immature pranks until the early morning. I remember her begging us to stop, but I also remember begging her to give our car back. Admissions counselor for unaccredited schools. I worked in an admission office for a traditional private, accredited college just outside Boston, after I finished grad school. I was mostly doing the email marketing for the office, but occasionally filled for in-person college fairs when someone was sick, or we double booked. Most colleges are not-for-profit, meaning all of the money from tuition had to go back into the college. As an admission counselor, we were legally not allowed to get things like commission, or bonuses based on enrollment numbers. I got a salary, and that was it. The other for-profit schools, which were unaccredited and for-profit, were basically sales reps. I talked to one of them, who tried to poach me, and he specifically mentioned how much he earned each year from recruiting students. Just completely disingenuous and not in the best interest of the students. I'm currently in AC now, and still try to keep DHR students' best interest at heart. I'm honest about the college, honestly answer questions student may ask, try to be realistic, and relay as much info as I possibly can to students trying to apply. In the end I am one, because I want to relay info to those who don't know how to find it, or what they're looking for post-HS, regardless if they go to college or not. Fuck the numbers, even though they are important to keep some of our jobs. Frown. In the US, PBMs, pharmaceutical benefits managers. They drive up medical costs, while simultaneously telling your doctor what you can't have. They make no contribution to your well-being and produce nothing of value. My wife was close to discharge after having a baby, but her blood pressure was a little high. Doctors prescribed some meds, retail $250, for that, and insurance denied it. Doctor called insurance, and told them without the meds, they'd be paying for an inpatient stay through a holiday weekend. They still said no. Goat Doctor found a much better deal, told $1.30, through GoodRx, and moved our other prescriptions to a nearby pharmacy that took GoodRx. Morals of the story: 1. Drug prices here are meaningless. 2. Insurance would rather pay for an inpatient stay than some pills. 3. Because of their fuckery, they didn't have to pay for either of those things. I had no idea that this was a thing until I switched insurance, and for the first time in 20+ years of being employed, I had some faceless jagoff telling me, and my doctor, that 2 medicines I take, prescribed and medically necessary, are ones they won't pay for because they don't think I need them. Are you kidding me? My other half needed a repeat on a nerve ablation. You can have one every 6 months. She needed it on the left and right sides. They denied her coverage because she'd already had it twice in the past 6 months. I spent 3 months arguing with her insurance that having the procedure done on both sides was not having the procedure done twice. If I paint both doors on a cupboard, I haven't painted the cupboard twice, have I? Scum of the earth. I have a sibling with schizoaffective disorder, who is mentally disabled. PBMs have tried to get my mom, his health proxy, to allow medicine changes, but thankfully she fought the insurance company. He has been on the same medication for 8 years, and a change could cause serious issues. I despise the American healthcare system because it truly puts profits over the people. You'll never believe what she told the waiter. Click next to find out. One time I spent 20 minutes clicking through BS, just to try to get to the bottom line/answer of the post. When I finally reached the end, there was no answer/bottom line. Defuke. Patent trolls. 100% legal. Zero contribution to society, just a person who has their hands out asking for money along the way. What is a patent troll? This is a person/company that searches all day for patents that are not used, and scoops them up to sell back to the creators. Another variation of this is a person/company that is hired/gets paid to search for songs/movies/videos that might use possibly copyrighted items, without permission, aka payment. Another variation of this is a person/company that is hired/gets paid to search for songs/movies/videos that might use possibly copyrighted items without permission, aka payment. This is killing me at work. I'm in social video, we pay an enterprise license for stock music, and often run into issues on YouTube where audio gets flagged for copyright infringement from some weird entity. Such a headache. Those people who make long-winded Facebook videos, which promise a lot but where nothing happens. With this one simple trick, you can be rid of your problem. But before I show you the trick, I'm going to talk for 45 minutes, and show you fake chalkboard drawings, and then tell you you need to pay for the trick, but it isn't a trick at all. It's just common knowledge. But now you're out $59.95, and I've made a bunch of money off of people's hopes. Or you can get a 10% discount off your purchase by signing up for 1 year of Super Trick Plus for only $89.99. Multi-level marketing. I felt so foolish to have been convinced it wasn't pyramid selling. Yes it is. Didn't cost me a lot, thankfully, but the fact I tried to get others involved was shameful. The first thing they're trained to explain away is how it's not a pyramid scheme. Run away if you ever hear a variation on this argument. So explain to me what you think a pyramid scheme is. Some guy at the top, with people working under him, and more people working under them? Well, that's just any business model. This seems like a difficult thing to admit to. Good on you for being vulnerable. Mommy bloggers that put an uncomfortable amount of personal information about their kids on the internet. I saw a TikTok where someone pointed out that a lot of the content that parents think might be cute to share is stuff that pedophiles are saving and keeping for free. 2 words, phone scammer. I got a call the other day, and decided to talk to the guy a little bit. In the middle of his spiel I interrupt him, and I'm like, come on man. Stop what you're doing. I know who you are, and what you're all about. He immediately gets super pissed off and says, if you know who I am then why the hell did you take my call? And hangs up. Imagine that. Being the type of person to call someone with the sole intention of stealing from them, and then getting mad at them for inconveniencing you. Yeah, they can all take a long walk off a short pier. Fuck 'em. Words were wrong. A few weeks ago my CC info was stolen, not the card just the number, and my personal info. Called the CC company, and thought everything was square. Few minutes later I get a call from a pizza delivery driver saying he's going to be at the hotel soon, can I meet him in the lobby? I'm like what? Tells me there's a $200 order worth of pizza in my name, and my phone is the contact. I tell him to cancel the order, CC info was stolen blah blah. He agrees and cancels the order. Few minutes later my phone rings, and it's the guy who used my stolen info to book his hotel room, and order the pizzas asking me why TF did I cancel his pizza order? I'm like you took this to a whole new level of stupid dude. You're calling me to complain about not getting your pizza? What planet am I on? High school teacher had a credit card stolen. They bought a plane ticket, post 9 to 11. He had their legal name, and when and where they would be. He called the FBI, air marshals, local PD, county sheriff and basically everyone said, well, it's not a high dollar amount so, we can look into it in a few months. He called the airport police. Not our jurisdiction, cyber and financial are US Treasury and FBI. Try them. He really wants them to catch this asshole. He literally has everything, and just wants anyone at the airport to nab him. The asshole will be right there. We know he will be. Have his name and seat number. Finally calls the FBI's local office for the airport, and starts calling individual agents through the directory. Want an arrest? Want an arrest? Everyone keeps telling him to just file the report at his local office, they'll forward it, and then they'll look into it. But the flight is tomorrow. You can't look into it later. But it's small potatoes and the dollar amount was too low. He keeps calling until he gets a newbie who's like, yeah okay cool, wire fraud. I can hang with that. I need some more arrests. Open and shut. Little paperwork but I get an arrest all on my own. Takes all the info, gets it all handled, and goes down to the airport, waits until he checks in and is on the plane and taps him. Come with me. Teacher was goddamn ecstatic. He was so happy he got the call the next day they made the arrest. Perp walked him off the flight. Nobody ever gets a modicum of justice. He got his. Nailed him. Probably plead out. I was out of the class by then. But he was just vindicated. Yes. They did a bad thing, and were arrested by the FBI. Suck it. But the amount of time he spent for that damn stolen credit card and flight purchase was immense. Nobody gave half a damn. He had everything lined up to get the bastard and not one person cared. Sometimes it's fun to play with them, if you have the time, and an innocent-sounding voice. I frustrated one Microsoft guy so badly he finally called me a fucking asshole before he slammed down the phone. I thought it was funny since I am a woman and not normally called an asshole. Those YouTubers that make videos with a gameplay background, and facts taken from other similar videos. I love that The Onion got on that train, and started making up ridiculous AskReddit answers. I love The Onion for that too. All these YouTube channels are doing the same thing, putting unrelated video game footage in the background of their voiceover, or other shitty content like that's normal. And nobody even acknowledges how silly it is or that they're doing it at all. Honestly, family bloggers. They just exploit their children, and it should be illegal. The fucking paparazzi. I really have never ever thought, good grace, this paparazzi took a pic of a celebrity, doing their private stuff, truly gives insight of their interesting personal lives. They could all lose their job for all I care. So mid-2000s, my roommate or possibly cousin stole a tabloid from a salon, and left it around the apartment. There was a 4-panel series of Queen Latifah getting a parking ticket. Shot of her approaching the car, picking up and reading the ticket, making eye contact with the paparazzo, and absolutely grinning, getting into her car still smiling. Brings me great joy to this day. My favorite was when Daniel Radcliffe was doing a stage play, and the paps were waiting for him, every night, at the exit of the theater. He wore the exact same clothes every time he left so they couldn't use the photos. Legend.